How's it going, everybody? My name is Infamous Isaac, and I'm here with a video on just me talking, talking on Minecraft like I usually do, except it's not gonna be a review like it usually is, It's just me talking about a topic, right? And I get comments a lot on these videos where it's like, oh, yo, I like these talking videos. They're fire. So I don't I don't like overdoing them. I just do them whenever I get inspiration or I just think of something like, yo, this is fire. I want to talk about this in the video. So I don't want them to be just like a normal occurrence, even though it seems like that like I'm uploading them weekly, sometimes multiple times in a week. I don't want it to be as a way to fill out the the week if I want to keep a streak going. I don't want it to be like that because I've struggled with that before where I'll just upload for the sake of uploading to keep a streak alive, even if it comes at the cost of quality, is what I'm trying to say. So I don't want them to be a crutch. I just want them to be me genuinely feeling creative and inspired to just talk about something. But I'm not gonna lie to you guys, I can't help it because I have like six different topics I want to talk about. It's just hard filtering them out and thinking like, oh, okay, this is a good one and this isn't a good one, stuff like that. But this one is a good one. I know for certain because this is something like, it's something that'll get you thinking for a little bit. So let me just start off, right? Forgiveness. This video is about forgiveness and just the very concept of it, like humans, right? People. I've mentioned this a lot. Human people, just in general, they have complex emotions. It's hard to understand because it's a person trying to understand another person's emotions the same way that they feel them. It's difficult. People don't feel the same way. People may similarly feel something, but it's not going to be the exact same. I love my mom. I love my dad. My love for my mom and my dad will be different from yours because A, you may not have a mom and a dad like together. It may just be one parent, or you may have a dad and a dad or a mom and a mom. Like it's different love because of the way that you grew up and just in general your circumstance, period, right? You may love your parents more than I do. I may love them more than you do. Stuff like that. It's not a competition, but it's just in general things are going to be different. So when it comes to forgiveness, it connects back to this. How will your forgiveness change because of that, right? Because of the circumstance. It's it's always a thing when my friends or one of my friends, he tells me like, yo, the people who can forgive, they're a family like killer. Like let's say you're in court, you're in court and your loved one, let's say your parents or your son or your brother or just any close like kin to you was murdered by some person and they're on trial and they get a crazy sentence. They got justice was served. Your loved one can rest in peace if that's what you sought after, right? But there's people out there who can forgive the killer. And granted, that's mostly because of the circumstance behind the killing. Let's say it was accidental and it was just bad place or wrong place at the wrong time. That then it's like, oh, okay, I can see the forgiveness, but just in general, just being able to forgive someone who took away your loved one, that takes a certain level of maturity and sympathy, and it's just like, or well, empathy, excuse me, that is so hard to do genuinely because adults, as you get older, going from a kid to an adult, things get complicated. A lot more is into play. You understand more compared to when you're a kid where it's like, oh, you broke my toy, all right, whatever, I'll forget about it tomorrow, so I'll forgive you. It's like, whatever, who cares, right? It's not that complicated when you're a kid because you don't understand anything, which you can view as like a good thing as well because kids just, they're just straightforward. They don't need to think about it because why would you, right? They just know what they want, whether it's informed or uninformed, and they just say it. They'll say it because that's what they are. But adults, they have to complicate it because a lot more goes into play. You have to think about a person's circumstance and the way it happened, and whether you can give sympathy and empathy for that situation or not, and just casting judgment on somebody in a way that will determine the rest of their life, whether they'll be behind bars or reforming themselves in community service and stuff like that. Like, and that also, like, not just judgment in general, but again, forgiveness. Like you have to think about all that stuff plus more, plus the way that you feel when forgiving somebody. And but let's dial it back a little bit because that is a more of a drastic situation. That's at like the boiling point. In general, just forgiveness is it's a difficult thing. Sometimes it's I can't forgive you. Like I just can't forgive you. That trust has been breached and it can never go back to the way it was. You broke it and it can never be repaired the same way that it was before. But there's also letting things go and not being bitter, right? Or not in the sense of being bitter, but more like just moving on, forgiving but not forgetting is what I'm trying to get at. Where okay, you wronged me, and I feel like we can still rebuild the relationship, the trust. It may not be the same, it may be stronger, it may be weaker, but one thing's for certain, I feel like I can forgive you because the 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 transgression isn't as egregious, but also I feel like I'm at a state where I can do that, you know? And I'm not speaking like in my point of view. I'm just saying it in general. It's like a third person where like even though I'm using I'm or I, but it's just that circumstance, right? Forgiveness is difficult. Genuinely, it can be difficult. It takes a lot to swallow down being hurt or just being acted against, I guess, where you've been wronged. Genuinely, you've been wronged by somebody that you may have trusted, you may have not trusted, you may not even have known them, and it just you have to look at it because forgiveness is a long road. Genuinely, it is a long road. So it'll take time. You may not forgive somebody immediately, and that's fine. Because people are people. They're not perfect. They're fallible. I always say this. Like their people are fallible. They're not gonna have perfect judgment. Judges don't have perfect judgment. They're just more qualified to do so than other people. Well, quote unquote, more qualified. You can view it the way you want to view it. Whatever. But it's a difficult thing. I can't sit here and preach to people like, oh yeah, forgiveness is easy, forgive people no matter how you feel. No, people are people. They're gonna feel the way that they want to feel, or the way that they will feel, whether it's of their own free will or their own volition or not, whether it's literally just genetic. Period. Like so, forgiveness is difficult. But there's another route to forgiveness as well. There's that looking inward basically and forgiving yourself for your own stuff because self-development and just mental health period does start with forgiveness. If you've done something that you don't like and you want to change, and just overall forgiving yourself, like a lot of stories have that character that has wronged somebody who's trying to change, and the first step is forgiving yourself. It's like you can't love somebody else if you can't love yourself, right? You can't forgive other people if you can't forgive yourself. That's how it goes. And that is a even longer road because the voice in your head is always, or not always, but will have doubts. Will just be there to just cast blame on you, negative emotions, stuff like that. It will be there to hurt you, and what can you do against it? I don't know. Genuinely, I don't know. Whether it's therapy, love from somebody, or just your own way of changing that within reason, of course, not killing people. But it it's a long road because you have to understand how you feel. You can understand how others feel at a glance, at a surface. You'll never understand them truly because you don't know their inner thoughts. You don't know what machinations, like what's going on in their machinations. And you'll never be able to do that even if you do understand yourself. But first, you have to understand yourself, period. All right. So it's literally just forgiveness is complicated, bro. Like it's genuinely complicated. The more you look at people, the more you realize it's hard. It's genuinely hard. And the people who can forgive people, no matter how I feel about a situation, they're strong individuals. Genuinely, they like turning the other cheek and stuff like that. That motion is just like that takes a lot of strength. Indulging in emotions, negative emotions, even like that, it's got to be crazy. But also people who can forgive themselves and be happy with who they are. To me, it's just like you're a strong individual who's probably been through a lot that I can't even begin to imagine. No matter the scale, no matter what you went through, no matter the loss or gain that you went through in your time to get up to this point, you to me are a strong individual because I'm not there yet. I'm not there yet at all, and it's gonna take time to get there. It's gonna take time for anybody to get there. You're not gonna change in a day, you know? That's the same way you're not gonna forgive in a day. You may never forgive. But one thing's for certain, only you can take that step to change that. Or you can regress and never take that step and stay mad at it. And that's fine. Again, everybody's different. And that's all you can really say, right? It'll all be handled differently depending on the person who can handle it. But it's gonna be it for me for now. I don't know how you guys will feel about this video. I just wanted to say this. I usually just give like middle of the road ideas because I like my opinion doesn't matter in this. I'm just presenting the idea. Like I will mention my opinion, but I'm not gonna just outwardly say like, oh, this is strongly how I feel, and if you feel this the other way, you're wrong, right? Like no, because that that's not how a discussion works, you know, like I'm not here to say that you're wrong. I'm here to hear what you have to say, right? And then whatever happens after, you know, is whatever happens. Whether we both agree to disagree, whether we think one of us is wrong, you know? That's just how it is. Just how it goes. But let me know what you guys think down below. Thank y'all for watching. Hope y'all enjoy. I'm losing my voice, so I may sound a little raspy, but hope y'all have a great rest of your day. I'll see you all in the next video. Peace.